Welcome back, listeners, to a brand new episode of the New Standard. And I want to apologize for the technical difficulties we had, but I wanted to start fresh. Given that the Steelers are 3-0, I wanted to make sure to start fresh, give you guys some fresh content, as well as start the show from scratch. Because if the Steelers are playing clean football, I can give you clean podcasts. As always, please hit us with a like and subscribe. Again, you're chiming into the New Standard. The title of the program is 3-0, the Steelers versus Chargers post-game show. Big up to my guy, Ali Howard, Species 56118. If you want to contribute to the program, please hit us with the super chat. Big up to everybody out there who's catching the program live. Big up to Felicia. Big up to everybody out there. Steelers are 3-0. And wow, who would have called this? I wouldn't have called this because I thought they were not going to win this game. Full disclosure, I thought they would lose this game 17-13. And Ali Howard Species is right. They don't ask how, they ask how many. And right now, the Steelers are 3-0. As always, we're going to put up the podcast as well. So if you want to get that on your way to work and listen, or if you can't catch the show live, you can catch the show via podcast. In this show, we're going to jump into a couple of segments. And I think I've hammered down the segments that I want to do on the post game. Numbers don't lie, winners and losers, overall game grades, and holistic thoughts. And we're going to jump into Felicia's question as well. But at the top of the program, I want to talk about Felicia. If you want to, please put your original comment about Najee Harris in the chat about Najee scoring the touchdown. And I think Najee not scoring the touchdown is really indicative of the fact that they are a very well coached team, that they are in. It looks like I'm having some mic problems. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Because I know my mic just cut out. But can you give me a thumbs up, Krog, if you can hear me right now? I think my audio is back. So please give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Krog. And thank you for jumping in. And hopefully I'm saying it right, like Kroger's. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. But thank you, Krog, and everybody else who's chimed into the program. But Najee Harris. Wow, and that was a flub. Najee Davenport. And Najee Davenport is the total example of a guy that was not a team guy. I know you understand, Felicia, but here's the thing. It shows you that they are very well coached. He knew the time and the situation in the game that if he made that sacrifice to his personal stuff, you can end the game because the focus is always on winning. Absolutely. Pause. The focus is always on winning. Also, I think it showed that this is an unselfish outfit, that Tomlin has these boys locked in and they're playing the good enough of football to win at the current moment. Like right now, and I, I don't want to really harp on the results of Justin Fields' game, right? And if the Steelers won or not, because I don't want to make what I say seem hyperbolic. But I'm going to say this. If he continues to play like this, Russell is not getting his job back. And I think if he continues to take care of the football, I had one turnover today. If he continues to take care of the football and they continue to play or improve offensively week after week after week, and if there are things that they can continue to add to his plate and he continues to manage the pocket, manage the game management of playing quarterback, that he's going to be the starter. He's going to be the starter. And like Kevin Motley said, it might be already over. And here's the other reason why it might be already over. Let me just ask you all, listening to the program right now, if you're in that locker room and Tomlin comes to you and says, we're making a switch at the quarterback position, after you are 3-0, you're going to be like, hell no, homie. Hell no, dog. We 3-0. Baby is balling. Hell no. We 3-0, baby. And here's the thing. He's starting to make you can tell he's getting way more comfortable because he's starting to see it. Let's say this. He's starting to throw with anticipation. And like Derpy said, Russell. Oh, and actually, Derpy, that's fantastic. And I don't know if you meant that, but Russell, it sounds like Russell when you say it with the syllables. If you meant that, Derpy, that is double entendre on an elite level, Derpy. If you meant that seriously, that is super double entendre. And you're right, YouTube watcher. Russ has done nothing except wear the C. And you can see that Arthur Smith is starting to trust Justin Fields more because he's letting him take more opportunities in the middle of the field. And I'm going to tell you where I see some growth in Justin Fields was the ball that Freiermuth missed over the middle. He had to throw that with rhythm and timing and anticipation. He threw a dart on Freiermuth's hands and squeezed that puppy in between the numbers in the middle of the field. Freiermuth dropped it, but it showed to me that he was able to grip it and rip it and let it go and play with confidence. And if he continues to play like that and throw darts, he's going to be the guy. And he's going to be the guy that gets the contract at the end of the season. Now, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but we know we can see how this is going to go. I think it's going to take an awful lot right now for him to lose the job and for you to be able to sell to your locker room that he shouldn't have the job. Let me jump into a couple of numbers from the game, because numbers don't lie. In the second half, the Chargers ran 15 plays for -5 yards. In the second half, the Steelers did an absolute fantastic job, and then they just absolutely turned up the heat on the Chargers in the second half when Herbert went out. It turns out to me, and we'll jump into that in the winners and losers, Lil Herbig had to play the game and knocking out Justin Herbert, because I think the game really started to turn on that because Herbert was in a nice rhythm in the first half of the game. But in looking at some of these numbers in terms of Steelers yards per attempt, 7.6, I mean, that's some of the best yards per attempt numbers we've seen the Steelers have in a game in a long time. No touchdown passes. Actually, he had one touchdown pass, and that was the game winner. Only took 2 sacks on the game, which was solid. Had the one interception, ironically, that went to Bud Dupree, had a 96 passer rating. So he did solid. Justin Herbert finished the game 12 of 18, only for a $125, had a 105 rating for the game. But that started to turn in the second half as well. In terms of going into this game, one of the big things was, how are the Chargers going to run the ball? Steelers only gave up 61 rushing yards on 20 attempts, held on to 3.1 yards per carry. That's fantastic. And another encouraging thing was in the first half, and this game was really a tale of two halves. In the first half, Najee ran it for only 3 yards. In the second half, Najee ran it for 71 yards, finished on 18 carries, 71 yards. In the beginning of the game, the Chargers were really playing physical football, and I think we're bringing it to them. But I was really impressed with the way the Steelers were able to run the ball in the fourth quarter and really put an end to this game. And Mark Tobin made an interesting comment. Let me jump into Kevin Motley's comment first. Great adjustments by the coaches. Let me say this. Let me pause you on that, Kevin. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with adjustments and quote unquote adjustments. The adjustment might have only been that the players executed the game plan and played more crisply and executed, and that there weren't many changes at all. Also, the adjustment could have been also they knocked Herbert out, which was a great adjustment in the game. I mean, knock Herbert out, and I'll look like a great coach with my adjustments. Mark Tobin also asked, is Highsmith looking over his shoulder? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Highsmith got a big contract. He's an outstanding player. I like having 3 pass rushers. You can have 3 guys fresh. So no, I don't think he's looking over his back at all. And like Coach Hatcher said, Herbert was already a statue before that injury. But yes, MK is right. The Chargers are going to need some ice packs for that ride back. But I think equally impressed in this game, man, I was really impressed with the running game late in that game. I love the fact that they were able to close out that game on the ground and not give the ball back. And I think YouTube watcher, I think you're absolutely right. Highsmith is great against the run. And Herbert lacks a little in that area. But it's not bad to have 3 pass rushers ready. Corey Hatcher astutely pointed this out as well. McCormick looked very good in the game. I mean, they were road grading late in the game. And my guy, Zach Frazier, looked very good as well. Listeners, you are checking out the new Standard 3-0 Steelers versus Chargers post game. And before I jump into my winners and losers, on the offensive side of the ball, give me your winners. If you're on the chat, hit me with some winners, and hit me with some winners on the defensive side of the ball. Hit me with your winners in the game. And we'll jump into those as I give you mine. On the offensive side of the ball, I mean, it's got to be Justin Fields. I mean, it's got to be Justin Fields. Justin Fields, and it's got to be Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin and Justin Fields teamed up to make the biggest offensive play of the season, combining for the 55-yard touchdown reception. That was the biggest play of the game outside of the Steelers knocking out Justin Herbert in the game. And also, I mean, when your quarterback goes 25 or 32 for 245 and a 96 passer rating and a touchdown, I mean, that the numbers look great. And there is still some meat on the bone. Like, he still has to play with a little bit more rhythm and timing and the freedom and willingness to turn the ball over. But I like what they're doing with Justin Fields right now. They are adding to it. They're adding to it. And it feels pretty much like, and I don't know if you guys have had toddlers. You're right, Mark Tobin, Scotty Miller made some plays. I don't know if you guys had toddlers or kids, but Justin Fields very much feels like they're adding to the menu. They're adding to the menu. They're adding some salads. They're adding some sweet fruits. Sort of like when you have to expand the menu of your toddler. They're adding to the menu. They're getting comfortable with him. He's getting comfortable with them. They have built this from ground up, and you can just see his confidence growing. I think you can also see that the team is confident in him as their signal caller. Let me jump into a comment from Derby, DE, in the place to be. Also, the offense with Justin seems to be more energetic and confident when Justin is out there, and all the Steelers needed someone that can give them a youthful chance, and Justin has been that. Juice is big. Coach Corey will tell you, juice is big. Feeling like you can do it is big. Feeling good, looking good, Billy Ray. That's all important. Like when you play sports and you get that fresh fade before you hit the court or you hit the field, you feel fresh, you feel good. Justin is giving them energy. They feel good. And I agree with Derpy. I think he is winning over the team. That's why it's going to be even harder, in my opinion, for Russ to come back. If Russ comes back, he's going to have to play fantastic football. Defense is continuing to cook. Looking at some more of these numbers before I jump into you guys, winners and losers. A big winner on the defensive side of football has to be TJ Watt. And has to be Patrick Queen. I think Patrick Queen stepped up and started to flash, led the team in 8 combined tackles. I thought Cam Hayward is a winner in the game. TJ Watt as well. Cam Hayward finished with 4 combined tackles, a TFL, a quarterback hit, and a sack. TJ Watt again had another sack in the game. I thought they were playing fantastic, particularly in the second half. The Chargers got into a nice rhythm. I thought they put Joey Porter Jr. in some conflict in some situations. And that's one thing I want to point out, too, is Lil Peasy is tackling. His daddy must have said something to him. His daddy must have said something to him and brought that challenge of tackling to him. Let me jump into some of you guys, winners and losers. I want to echo Corey Hatcher. Hayward was a beast. Fields, Calvin Austin III, and Miller. I can't disagree with any of those. Corey also said Patrick Queen flashed. Fields definitely was a winner in this game. Pickens always gets calls. He may not get a lot of targets and a lot of yards as it started out in this season, but he is impacting where and who can get the football by creating both vertical and horizontal space. Derpy chimed in, Herbig, TJ, and Fields. Cordell, Kevin Motley chimed in with Cordell Patterson, Freiermuth, Najee, Scotty, and Austin, the 3. It was a great game. Great game by the Steelers. Played a very solid second half. And I'm liking this Tomlin ball. These games are ending very fast. Love it. Want to jump into another comment from Corey Hatcher. And he said, hard to say how much better the offense is with Wilson versus Fields because we haven't gotten to see him. But there is zero chance they should unless Foles Fields up. I mean, and Corey can speak to it, man. Like when you know the temperature of your team, and big up to Mobius with the kanji, I believe. If someone can translate that, big up to Mobius signing in from a land far away. There's no way that Tomlin can go in that locker room and tell them anything other than Justin Fields is starting. Justin would absolutely have to shit the bed. Derek Sessions chimed in. Justin Fields is learning how to win in different ways. That should help his development, and I feel good about this. Absolutely. You see Justin Fields growing as a player week in, week out. There is some coaching going on. And I want to send a big shout out to Stillmatic Network with G_Honda. Make sure you guys check him out when he does his live stuff. I try to support the program by giving him a like and subscribe on all his material. Please do the same. He's trying to get his feet started and do his thing. So please give Stillmatic Network with G_Honda your liking and a subscribe. The Steelers are rolling. The Steelers are rolling. And like Kevin Motley said, we are 3-0 after the national media keeps putting us on the bottom of the division. I can't wait to hear what they got to say this week, like we weren't 5-1 last season. Hey, man, it's a long season. Everything is headed up on the uptick. It is looking better. It is getting better. And I'm most excited about the development of Justin Fields. I think they are developing. His development is coming along nicely. So in terms of overall game grades, I'm going to give the offense probably a C plus in the first half. I would give them an A in the second half because of the way they closed the game out with the 5 minute and the 2 minute stuff. Um, and I and the way they ran the ball late in the game. So overall, I would give the offense a solid B plus. And again, they could have had more points. They could have had 27 in the game, but I'm going to give them a solid B plus. I'm going to give the defense an A minus. Played very well in the second half. Even the nickel and dime stuff that they were giving up in the first half, a couple of coverage busts. I thought that was a bust on Minka on the touchdown pass to Quentin in the first half. But I mean, the way they dominated the Chargers, and some people will say it's because Herbert wasn't in the game. Well, hell, it's because they knocked him out of the game. That's why he wasn't in the game. And big up to my guy, Marcus J. I'm just going to say this. If Justin Fields continues to grow and continues to get better and continues to develop under this nice coaching that he is getting from the Steelers staff, he's your next signal caller for the next few years. There are still some things, there are still some training wheels that they have on with him. They're still trying to manage him, in game, but they should because of that defense. But I just love how they're gradually adding to his menu. And Marcus J is killing me by saying A minus. Come on, man. Minus 5 yards in the second. Come on, man. I gave him an A, man. Come on, man. Like, what you want me to give him, an A plus? Corey brought up a great point, though. And hopefully CA3, Roman Wilson will be those guys. But they need another wide receiver to emerge, or they are absolutely going to have to go out and get one. But my overall thoughts is that the arrow is pointing up. I am really excited to see what this offensive line looks like when Siamalu comes back. Frazier, Siamalu in the middle of that anchor in that offensive line. I mean, that's going to be nasty. The other thing in thinking about this game is I would like the run game to get started earlier, to get the run game cranked up a little bit earlier. That's another thing. Let me jump into a couple of more comments before we get out of here. And Derpy wrote, honestly, I think the Steelers can make a run. Please hit me with a like and subscribe. Again, you're checking out the new standard 3-0 Steelers versus Chargers post-game show, baby. Hit me with a like and subscribe. Derpy, if there's any social media that you want listeners to this program to interface with you, put it on the chat, and everybody go out there and support Derpy. Also, Kevin Motley wrote, we know Chicago don't know what the hell to do with quarterbacks. I was wearing Ninja Turtle draws when Jim McMahon took them to the Super Bowl. That's hilarious. You was wearing Ninja Turtles. That's absolutely hilarious. You was in underoos. Please don't send us no pictures of you in underoos. Felicia said her comment was, thick thighs, Cam laid that weight on Herbert. That's why. Like Krog said, man, we need some more likes on this video. Everybody that's listening to the program, hit us with some more likes. We will be back out there breaking down the next game coming up on Wednesday. I always like to take another look at the game because I always see something when I'm on film. But right now, Frazier is the man. Go watch Frazier play. It was a great matchup against Ford today in the game, and Frazier is balling. Coach Hatch, let him know just how good Frazier is playing. He's a baller. He's doing his thing. But with that, we are going to conclude the program. The Steelers are 3-0, doing the thug thizzle, doing their thing. Hey, man, don't complain about it. Be about it and enjoy it. And with that, we're going to conclude the program. And as always, tune in, tell a friend, and subscribe. 3-0, baby. Let's go, Steelers.